Hey guys, it's Brandon here, and today I'm going to be making a video installing this Rev 9 oil cooler guard. So this is for an F82 BMW M4, but they also make them for the M3. This one here, I got it on Amazon. It was relatively cheap. I paid $300 for it, and I'm sure you could actually get them even cheaper. The material is just aluminum, and it's rather thin, but it should do the job where the bulk of it is up here. It seems pretty thick. You know, pretty much anything's better than the plastic anyway. And I didn't really want to spend the $500 on the Turner one, or God forbid the Fall Line one. Oh my God. So basically what we're going to be doing here is removing this plastic piece here. As you can see from my oil change video, if you watch that, I already do have a skid in the actual oil cooler here, but nothing is leaking out. But we're going to be removing the plastic oil cover today, as well as the two sides, and then reinstalling everything with the new metal one. So we are under the car here, facing the front. And if you go over to the passenger side, we are going to need to remove an 8mm right here, an 8mm right here, an 8mm right here, as well as over here. There, I believe there's supposed to be one here, but my car does not have that. So probably that one as well. And then one up in the front right here. Once those screws are removed, this can pull right out. Be careful if you've never taken this out before. There's probably some debris in there. Now that the passenger side is out, we're going to copy the same thing on the driver's side. We're going to take out this 8mm here, this one here, this one here, this one here, this one over here, and this one up here. And again, mine's missing this one. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be one there or not. Also on the driver's side, there is an 8mm way over here. On my passenger side, my piece is broken. And I didn't realize that until just now. So there's also this 8mm right here. I also want to point out that right here on the right is what most of the 8mm look like, except on each side there is one that is much longer. You can see here, and it does not have a point on the end. This one goes in right here on the end on the bottom. Also, the bolt that is longer than the others with no tip on the end also goes in here. So there's two of them on each side. And as I said before, my passenger side actually had the tab broken for this. So it's two of these on each side. The next thing we're going to do is remove 1, 2, 3, 4 8mm in the front here as well that attach the guard to the bumper. The next two bolts we're going to remove are going to be 13mm or an E-Torx. It looks to be probably about an E, maybe 30, but I did not check. But 13mm is definitely the easier of the two to get out. So there's one here, and on the other side, one right here. So now everything is out except for this one 8mm right here. Once we take this out, this should fall down and we can pull it out towards us like this, towards the back of the car, so it can slip out from underneath the bumper under here. Be careful, as there could be debris in here if you're laying under it. So now the old one is out right here. Like I said, just pull it right out. Here's the oil cooler. Might as well inspect it, even though we already know we have some damage there. Inspect it, make sure there's no leaks. Clean off everything while you're in here, because, you know, you might as well. Inspect your lines, make sure no leaks anywhere there, you know, while you're down here, might as well. You can see not too far up into there, but you can just check some connections on either side. And now what we can do is take the new one and slide it in underneath the bumper, between the bottom of the bumper here and this plastic piece. We'll slide it in under there, and then to secure it, we will put the two 13mm back in. So the new plate is slid in now in between the bumper and the plastic, just like I mentioned. and we're going to secure the 13 millimeter over here on the side. This plate does go on top of this plastic piece here because it's attached to the front of the plastic and the bumper here. So this will go over the top, one in there, and then that 13 millimeter on the same thing over here, it'll go right in there. And then you'll see this kind of hangs back a little bit. We are going to have to just secure it up there. You're going to want to just make sure that the sides of the plate here clear this plastic piece and move it around. On this side, it's really close, so I'm going to have to, just move it as everything lines up. So we got the 2 bolts in, as you can see there. They are not tight yet. They are just, almost secured. So we can still shift this around. So the next thing you're going to want to do is line these up as best you can with the holes up here. They get really close, but it's not perfect, but this should be able to shift a little bit. So we'll line those up, and then we can also line up the pieces down here, and we can actually reinstall the 4 8mm that screw the bumper to the plate. Because we lined these holes up before, these all went in super easy. These are very easy to strip, so when you're tightening them up, just go hand tight, and honestly, you kind of feel them start to slip, and then you could just back it off a little bit. They don't come to a stop on their own. You kind of just have to feel them out. And then the next step is going to be installing the 2 8mm that go into the metal plate here. So this tab and then this one as well. We can also install the center 8mm here, and now the plate is fully installed. Honestly, it's pretty good, a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It is actually really beefy and strong once it's on the car and mounted to everything. Like, these don't move at all. I'm actually really impressed with it. So overall, I think it's pretty sweet, and it's nice that it still has a lot of holes in it for heat to dissipate out. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Next thing we're going to be doing is installing the driver's side panel. So what you're going to want to do for these is on the side over here, this piece will slip in between. So this piece goes up in here, and then this piece slips in between the plastic here and the bumper. And then all of this, the rest of it just lines up into place. There's nowhere for it to go. All right, so here's this piece loosely fitted in here. Like I mentioned before, this tab here goes between this for the lip and the green part of the bumper here, then this slides in behind here. This tab will line up here. It'll just go right behind it. This is broken off. It's supposed to be connected here, so this just push up like normal. This tab here is supposed to have a tab coming off of here. As you can see, it's this piece here. So this one will not work anymore. I'm probably going to actually drill a little hole through this and zip tie it, but we'll see how the rest fits up. In the front here, we're going to want to line up this piece right to the front of the bumper, and then this hole in there, you'll see, and then same thing right here. Actually, this one didn't have a tab. This is the middle one here. And then this one will also line up that we started with. And don't forget, these longer ones without a tip on the end go right here and right here. All right, so now the rest of the 8mm are installed. So remember, this one and this one here are the longer ones without the tip on the end. And then I reinstalled this one here. You do not install this one as there's no tab coming off of here for it. Reinstall this one here. And this one here if yours is not broke like mine. Now moving on to the passenger side, it's going to be the exact same situation. Mine on this end is broken, but it would do the same thing where this slides up behind here and underneath between the lip and the bumper here, which is where this piece would go. And don't forget, the bolts that are long are going to be this one, which mine's broke, so I didn't have to remove, and then this one right here. I also can't remember if I mentioned it on the other side, but this piece here is part of my lip spoiler, and this plastic piece slides in between this and the bottom of the bumper. I also wanted to mention that in the front right here, which would be this bolt, on this side didn't line up super well. Because of this, it like hits the plastic, hits the metal. So I had to get in here and just pull the bumper down to get the screw to start in. Not a huge deal, it all worked out in the end, and it looks just like the other side does, which didn't have that problem. But I just figured I'd mention it here anyway. All right, guys, so that should be it. Everything's installed. We put this bolt in, which remember is long. This one was already in, but remember this one's also a long one with no tip on the end. This one here, nothing here, this one here, this one there, and that's everything for the 8mm. The next thing I'm going to do is, because I don't really want these flapping around, is I think I am going to drill a little hole in here and then zip tie these together. Same thing on the driver's side over here. Going to drill a little hole in that piece of plastic and then zip tie those together. So after messing around with it for a little while, these don't really move that much. It's still not a bad idea. Like, this one doesn't move at all, but it's still not a bad idea to zip tie those. But for now, I'm going to try to run it without it, just because taking this off with the zip tie there means I have to replace it every time. Everything else though, I'm super happy with how this mounted up, especially compared to some of the other ones in the price ranges. I think this one's pretty good. We'll have to see how it fares, but like I said before, I mean, you can just like slap it around and nothing tries to bend or anything. And then this piece here, with how this metal's bent, should be able to take a serious beating before anything happens. And the fitment was good enough. I didn't have to modify anything, and it went in just fine. So just had to do some shimmying of everything just to get it to fit properly, but nothing had to be modified or drilled out or anything like that. So I really couldn't ask for much more. Other than that, I think we're gonna call it here. So thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below.